Arsenal keep on winning. They are simply world class. I'm getting sick and tired of talking about how good Arsenal are. So much pressure on this performance going into that game. We saw Manchester City completely dismantle Crystal Palace earlier today with a Kevin De Bruyne masterclass. And all the three teams today and tomorrow playing away in the Premier League. But this Arsenal game, there was a huge amount of pressure riding on it. And they look cool as ice. Composure level 100. Not a single bad performance from the goalkeeper to the striker. I'm getting sick and tired of talking about how good they are. As a football fan, I'll keep talking about it. If you're enjoying this type of content, go down and drop a like on the video. We are very, very close to 3K. So if you could hit that subscribe button, that'd be greatly appreciated. Brighton 0, Arsenal 3. I'm going to be honest. When I saw the lineup, I saw Zinchenko come back in. I thought, you know what? That's probably Arsenal's weak link. I think if you run at Zinchenko in one-on-one situations, he's not the strongest. However, he was only really exploited a couple of times in a one-on-one against Andringa. And I thought Arsenal defensively today were as strong as ever. You know, they only limited Brighton to 2 shots on target. And that's one thing we need to talk about with this Arsenal team. Whenever it comes down to a big game, whether it's Brighton, whether it's City, Liverpool, whoever you want to talk about, Arsenal are elite and probably the best team in the Premier League at limiting your opportunities. So when you get those goal-scoring opportunities, you have to take it. Both games against Manchester City, City were limited to 1 shot on target. Tonight, Brighton only had 2 shots on target. Gabriel and Saliba, another Premier League clean sheet. That's now a clean sheet against Manchester City, Luton, Arsenal clean sheet against Brighton and Sheffield United. That's one game in the last 5 against Brighton where they have not kept a clean sheet. Like Gabriel and Saliba, the best defensive partnership in Europe right now for me. And this is coming from a guy that hates Arsenal more than anything. But they are unbelievable. First 20 minutes was it was a very cagey end-to-end game. You know, Brighton are a funny team. They had majority of the possession tonight. And they're the sort of team that stretch you. They like their wingers to go in one-on-one situations. And they provide lots of energy throughout the first minute to the 90th minute. They are consistently on your case. But Arsenal, they dug deep. They defended well. Their shape throughout the whole game was very solid as well. No one's really out of position. The first goal comes from a penalty. Gabriel Jesus is fouled by Tariq Lamptey. Now, this is completely blown up all over the socials. Some people are saying it's not a penalty because he gets the ball. Other people are saying it is a penalty because he gets the ball, but it's the follow-through from Tariq Lamptey. I am very much on the side of, yes, he does get the ball, but you can't hit someone like that with the volume of the intensity of the tackle. If he got the ball and then afterwards there wasn't as much pressure on the follow through, it wouldn't have been a penalty. But the fact that he just about clips the ball and then takes Gabriel Jesus out, that's why I think VAR awarded the penalty, and I think it's the right decision. A lot of pressure on the penalty. Couple of minutes waiting for VAR to give the go-ahead for Bukayo Saka to take the penalty, and he's as cool as ice. He's as cool as ice. And that's now 5 or 6 penalties he's taken for Arsenal this season, and he scored every single one. I don't think Saka was actually that great overall in the game, but good players don't have to have good games to affect them, and that's exactly what Saka did. He got his goal and made it 1-0 to Arsenal. Now, the rest of the game, you know, we go into half-time. I expected a big response from Brighton. You know, Arsenal's front three did very well in terms of holding up the ball, running at players. I think when Saka went off, it was kind of like, is he still carrying an injury? You know, is he fully fit? Who knows? He went off. Arsenal get a second goal. Jorginho runs around the outside, puts the ball into Kai Havertz, and he makes it 2-0. And I think Kai Havertz was probably Arsenal's best player of this game. He set up the third goal as well. Lovely ball through to I was about to say Zinchenko. Lovely ball through to Trossard, who makes it 3-0 in the 86th minute. We've got to talk about this now because Arsenal, I think, ever since the comeback from Dubai, which would have been mid-January, they've come back and they've been absolutely unbelievable. I think they're 12 games now or 10 games now without a defeat. They haven't lost a game in the Premier League this calendar year. They've beaten teams comfortably. They're scoring at will. They're the top goal scorers in the Premier League, scoring 75. But what's most impressive is they've only conceded 24 goals. And that defense, with Declan Rice sitting in front or Jorginho, whichever the team they play against, Gabriel and Saliba, for me, it's unbelievable. Like, I can't stand them, but you got to give props where props is due. Arsenal right now are cooking, and they may actually win this league. You know, Manchester City are putting up a hell of a fight as well. 4 goals against Aston Villa, 4 goals against Crystal Palace without Phil Foden tonight as well. And on Wednesday, they didn't have no Kevin De Bruyne or Haaland. They're the ones that are kind of juggling the injuries. Arsenal so far haven't had any big injuries to Gabriel, Saliba, Rice, Odegaard or Saka or any of their big boys. So they've been very fortunate on the injury front, but everyone's contributing. You know, Trossard comes off the bench tonight, gets a goal. Hazard's getting involved. Jesus is winning penalties. Saka scoring penalties. Declan Rice today was as good as ever. And this is an Arsenal team that now believe. They believe that they can beat anyone in world football. And on Tuesday, they go up against Bayern Munich. And I'm going to say this right now. Arsenal beat Bayern Munich home and away. Bayern Munich are absolutely toilet. I would love nothing more than see a Harry Kane masterclass at the Emirates. But that defense, the volume of clean sheets they are keeping, the amount of opportunities they limit you to, it's not just that. It's the shape of their defense. You know, when Zinchenko goes into midfield and they go into a back three, or when Zinchenko comes off and Tomiyasu comes on and Ben White inverts, they're so well organized and well coached. And it's now at the point of where you're going to have to win every single game, Arsenal. You're going to have to win every single game. And whether it's a comfortable performance against Luton, whether it's an unbelievable performance against Brighton, everything that is getting thrown their way, every single obstacle that is going towards Arsenal, they keep overcoming and they keep getting better and better and better. And it's now 4 clean sheets in the last 5 games. They're scoring goals at will. It doesn't matter who comes in on terms of the personnel, whether it's Havertz up top, Jesus up top, or even Trossard. The performances are still up there. And it's now a case of they've got Chelsea, Man United, and Spurs. If they win those 3 games, Arsenal will be champions. I don't see anyone right now getting in their way and stopping them. The one thing you'll say if you're a Liverpool fan, if they get past Bayern Munich, I do think Manchester City will get past Real Madrid. If they do that, as well as City get past Madrid, that game is going to take bundles of energy out of both teams, and that is where I think it will be Liverpool's advantage. But right now, Arsenal are doing everything they can. They're winning every single game possible, and the performances, it's actually mind-blowing. You know, clean sheets galore, goals galore, world-class performances all over the pitch. No one's really commenting about how bad Havertz has been today. He gets a goal and assist. For me, he was my man of the match if I was going to choose one. Next up, next Sunday, they've got Aston Villa. Once again, Arsenal will favour that because they play on the Tuesday. Aston Villa play on the Thursday. You know, Aston Villa will have not as many days rest. And I genuinely think right now, Aston Villa aren't that great of a side. They conceded 3 goals today against Brentford. You know, they've got 5 points out of a possible 15 recently. They're all over the place. I think Arsenal could quite easily score 2 or 3 goals against Aston Villa and keep another clean sheet. Like I said, it's all about Chelsea, Tottenham, and Man United. Tottenham and Man United, as a Spurs fan myself, there's nothing I would love more than to see Arsenal get derailed and this Premier League season come to a halt. But right now, I just don't see it. I don't see who's going to get in their way. I mean, Gabriel tonight, that block, you know, when they were 3-0, it's like, even in like the 88th, 89th minute, most teams, if that's Guardiola or if that's Ange, if they'd sit back and say, look, let's just maintain energy levels. Let's just see this win out. But no, they're not. They keep on going to the very, very, very end. And that's a sign of a good team. You know, Bukayo Saka has carried this team a lot in the last couple of years, but he hasn't even been that great the last few games. But it's everyone around him stepping up, knowing what the end goal is, and it's going and winning that league title. I hope and pray they don't. But right now, I don't know who's going to stop them. I really don't. They look so well organized, well driven. They're always on the front foot. You know, they've only lost 4 games all season. And the fact that they've got a 51 goal difference is going to be massive in this title race. Man City have got a 40 and Liverpool have got 42. You know, Liverpool have got a game in hand. If they win that game in hand tomorrow against Manchester United, they will go back top of the tree. But right now, guys, I'm going to be honest. I do not know who stops this Arsenal team. The strongest in defense, the strongest in attack. We've just got to hope and pray for whatever reason they do not win this league. Because if they do, we're all finished. I'll see you all soon. Thank you all for watching. I am out.